Hello everyone, Martha here. I am coming to you today with a mixed media project. I haven't gotten it all figured out yet. I am going to try to figure it out as I go. And I want to do it with a lot of collage papers because I love the result and the texture when I'm done. As you can see, this canvas has already been used once. Kind of got that gouache a little thick, but I think it'll be all right. But it was a project that I did, that I lived with for a little while, and I never was happy with it. I'm just gonna, where I got this thick on the edge, I'm just kind of wipe it off a little bit. I think that's the pretty, right here too, I guess, a little bit. Oh, that one's not as thick. All right, I think that's better. Now, as you can see, this canvas already got a little texture, and since I'm putting collage papers on it, I didn't really need to gesso it. But I just like to start with a fresh canvas so I don't get all confused and everything. But anyway, I drew out some things that I want to add. Let me put this dark sheet of scrap paper so you can see it. I want to collage my tree, and I'm probably going to do it in this color, or most of it. And then what I'll do is I'll go over it with paint and stuff. It just adds to me, the richness and the beauty of it. I also drew out this little stump, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do the fox in paper or just paint it. Then I drew out these little gourds and pumpkins that I'm going to add around my stump. And I'm probably going to do those in collage papers as well. I haven't decided exactly which paper I'm going to use yet for the sky. There's not much sky really in between after everything's put down. But I'm thinking I will put down this pretty paper, and then I'll paint over it with a teal or a blue or something like that, and just do it where you can still see the texture and the pattern. And I'm probably going to do some of the pumpkins in this, maybe this paper. But yeah, and I kind of want to incorporate this somewhere since it's a fall painting. I'm not done with fall yet. I know a lot of people, especially on YouTube, are already into Christmas, but I'm still in the fall mood. Even though Halloween is just a few days away, we still got the month of November to celebrate fall and celebrate Thanksgiving. So I wanted to, I've had a fox in my head for quite a while, and I haven't and so I just sat down to draw one, and I'm gonna put, I don't have all this other stuff on my Google Drive, but I will put this fox, standalone fox, in my Google Drive, and I'll try to put it in a couple of different sizes so you can either color it or print it out. You know, you can print it out to color, or you could use it for a mixed media project, or you could use it for a traceable, whatever you want. If you like the fox, I'll leave it for you to print out. And I might add one standalone and maybe with a couple of pumpkins too. I'll see what I still have left on my Procreate, because what I do a lot of times, I will start my drawing by hand, then I will take a picture of it and import it into Procreate, and sometimes it's just easier to change things and add things and get your lines a little neater, and like try out different scenes and things like that. So that's what I will do for you. I will put it on Google Drive so you can access it too. So what I will do is I will, like, it'll have to be in different pieces, but that's okay. But like cut some of this, it's a wood pattern, but it's not a tree wood, but it's like plank wood. Just cut it out around my tree, like glue my tree on it and cut it out, or some such a thing like that. Maybe harder with these little branches. So we'll see how it goes. And then I will do kind of the same thing with the pumpkins. And they'll have some paint on it too. I know this might be confusing for some people that's never done it, but hopefully I will share the process with you and you will be able to do one too if you want to. I'm no expert at this, but I really enjoy the results. A lot of times they turn out really nice. So I'm thinking about, I will glue it. I'm thinking about starting with this paper. And instead of just gluing it down, I think I'll rip it in pieces. It just adds to the texture. So I will come back in a few minutes so I will show you the process of what I do for the background. Okay, I'm back. And while I was off camera, I decided I'm gonna mix these two colors just to make the color combination more interesting. And I have my rubber gloves on because I'm gonna be using this matte medium as a glue. And I get really messy with it, so I don't really want it all over my hands as much as I'm going to be throwing down here. So I think what I'm going to do, now this, remember, this is not really, I have a vague idea of what I want, but I'm just kind of winging it, kind of planning it as I go. Hopefully it will turn out. It might not. You'll see my failures right here. But I also wanted to tell you that I might have to do it in 2 parts since it's a big project and I'm just feeling it out. I mean, it's not really a big project, but with my editing situation, it's easier to do it in stages. Just do some and upload it, because I don't have really a computer to use for my editing right now, so I'm doing it on my phone. And there's limited space, so that's all I have to say about that. Now I usually put some down, and a lot of times I'll put some on the back too. See, the back side of this paper is really pretty too. I probably have another one though with that. That'd be pretty to use for Christmas. Someone gave me this beautiful paper and I haven't used it too much, but I kind of wanted to use it here. And I think I am going, let me see how I want to do this. Okay, I'll put some on here and some right here. I hope I'm in frame. I tried to raise my camera up higher, but to get more in. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think I want to do this in 3s like I did with a lot of things. Just make sure it's balanced. And I'm okay with the white showing because I'm probably, most likely, gonna go over it with a light coat of paint anyway. So, okay, now I'm gonna come in with some of this color. Ooh, see how beautiful that is too. Both sides. It's just, well, it's a shame to use either one of them. Okay, I'm gonna put this one over here. It's okay to overlap it too. Now, probably won't use all the papers that I've laid out for the tree and I just chose some colors that I liked for the tree and the pumpkins. I'm gonna try to reposition. A lot of times I can just go over the edge and cut it off. But I found it, for me, it doesn't come out quite as pretty when it's on a canvas. It does better when you do it on a flat surface, like you would put it over like this and then cut the excess off. So this is, see, I already changed my mind. I was just planning to use this one here, but I just thought it would be nice to use two different colors. And I'm using greens. Well, I don't know why I'm using greens. I just like the patterns, and sometimes I don't like the sky to always just be plain blue. However, who knows, I might be painting this blue. So I'm just kind of nuts sometimes. And let's see. I'm gonna put this one right here. Okay, I'm gonna put this one like this one, I guess. Okay. Trying to decide if I mind this paper going sideways. Let's see, it has like, it looks like writing. I guess it really doesn't matter. It's gonna be covered up a lot anyway, so. I find that it's good to put the matte medium on the front, on the back side of the paper as well as the canvas. It just seems to be less buckling and bulging, bubbling, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now let's put some of this. And I guess it's not always necessary to cover each little spot, but I guess I like to. I really like this already. Oh, I'm really hoping it turns out nice. Just a little bit more on top and kind of rub it in. It's maybe not necessary, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, I'll let that dry. I'll start working on some of the other elements that I want to put on here, and I will come back when I get some more work done and when this is dry. Okay, I'll be back. Hello, I'm back. So what I did was I took my little tree cutouts and glued this scrapbook paper on it and cut it out. However, I think I got my little cutouts a little backwards, like not in the same position. So I'm kind of struggling here to get it where I want it to be. So I'm probably gonna have to cut some off. And you know, I could have, if I would have thought ahead, just drew my tree on the back of the scrapbook paper and cut it out. But I wasn't thinking ahead. I've just been figuring this out as I go. So I'm going to use this cheap glue. That way it will be, I think it might be easier to change out if I feel the need as I go along. No, I'm not sure I'm ready to glue it down on the background yet, but this is what the background, it's not totally dry, but almost. So I'm gonna put that like that. And maybe I should have used the darker one because I had a darker one picked out, but I really liked this pattern, so having a little bit of hard time since I didn't do my cutouts right, but I can always cut out some more limbs. I want to, but I can. Put it on top this time. And then when I get the limbs like I want them, I will go ahead and glue it down on the background. Probably shouldn't be doing this on the background, but hey. Just winging it here, trying to figure it out. Yeah, see my paper, I should have had it on the other side. Let's see now. See, this would have been better like this. So let's see how I can figure this out. Yeah, I don't really want to glue it down yet because I want to make sure that I can position my fox and his stump in the right position. So I am going to put this here. Looks like there's going to be some trimming involved here. That's okay. I may actually add some more branches as I go too. I'll put this further down. I think it will look a little better. Maybe I should put it over here. I think I will. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this one off. That's what I had to do to get them to fit on one sheet of paper. I had to cut the branches off. That's why they're not exactly where I want them to be. Just the way it is. You just carry on. I probably should have used my Faber tack, because when you glue it, it stays and then you can move it the way you want to. Now I think I am going to cut this one off and glue it somewhere else. Maybe right here or right here. Well, let's see what we're going to do with this one first. Okay, it's looking a little better. However, that is more tilted than I had originally planned. Okay. Where'd it go? I'm finding scraps, but I'm not finding my tree limbs. This one here, I guess. Or here. Yeah, I think it'll look better right there. Still probably gonna have to cut some off, depending where I want to place my fox. So I may add a little branch here, and so I'll add it, I guess, let's see. Yeah, that'll fill it out a little better. And then I'll add some more branches if I need them, after I get it glued down. That's a little better. Okay, everything is back together, sort of. Okay. I'm regretting my decision to use this craft glue. I'm just trying to conserve some of our, excuse me, some of my more expensive glue, but this takes too long to stick, and I'm afraid it's going to stick to the background before I'm ready, but we'll deal with it. I'll set this over here. Now this is the reason why that I got my my tree messed up is because when I drew it out, I really wasn't planning on using collage. I was planning on just gluing it on, painting it and gluing it on, but then I kind of changed my mind. So, and I had glued it, I drew it on printer paper, and I didn't think, I wanted it a little thicker, so I glued it on cardstock, which I could have just done it on my scrapbook paper if I'd have thought of it. But anyway, I went ahead and drew the lines I wanted, and I should have turned the lines this way to get it to lay this way. Let me find my fox and I will see if it will be okay if I see. I planned for it to be this way on the stump, but will it make a difference? I don't think it will with the stump. So I'm going ahead and glue it down. Since we started with our craft bond, I'm going to go ahead. I know this is a little confusing. I'm a little confused. Sorry. Okay, I want to make sure it's not on that white part. You know what? I'm actually going to cut this top part off because I don't want it to be dark brown, and I don't want to have to paint over it to make it go from dark to light. So I'm just going to do this one, and I might just use this color of paper for the top part of the stump. So basically what I'm saying is I made all this harder for myself than it really ought to have been. But I guess that's what happens when you're trying to figure out what you're doing as you go. Or that's the way I work anyway. So this is definitely going to be a two-parter. Here comes Kitty Mocha to supervise. It's definitely going to be a two-parter, possibly a three-parter. So falling off. Gotta shake it down. Reminds me of that Taylor Swift song, Shake, Shake, Shake. Still doesn't want to stick. Oh my gosh. I think I learned a lesson. Cut my tree branches as I go and glue them down instead of trying to piece them back together. It's becoming really annoying. I am going to glue that little piece down. It might give it a little support. I love this glue, but it's really, it's thick and hard to come out. Alright, maybe it'll stay together long enough for me to figure out how these should be positioned. Unless I move my tree over, I'm gonna have to, so I might wind up cutting this branch off and putting it over here somewhere, just because I kind of do like this. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off now. Now I can get it over further, I think. So, because I really did want this pumpkin. So the ones I cut off, I might salvage them. Alright. I will come back when I get my tree glued down. I will just use my matte Mod Podge again like I did with the background. I'll come back when I get that done and when I get some of my pumpkins cut out and get things positioned, and I'll show you where I am when I come back. Okay, I thought I would come back and show you where I'm at. So I decided not to use the stump because the elements are just, it would be too crowded, so. And I cut one of my pumpkins out in this orange paper and one of them in the purple, and one in this kind of pink and tan. Now don't worry about, there's gonna be like some outlining and some paint, some markers on top of these, so they're not gonna look like they're all one tone, like they're like one, I can't even think of the word right now, but it looks like it's all blended in together, like it's all in the same scale on the light spectrum, I guess you would say. I can't think of the right wording, but anyway, I went ahead. I haven't glued these down yet because I'm still not quite sure where I'm going to place them, and I might cut them down a little bit too. But I did place my tree, and since I got where I originally cut backwards onto the scrapbook paper, I had to kind of redo, I had to cut some more limbs and add some in and glue them on and trim some and rearrange some. So I think it's looking pretty good right now. Still needs to dry. But I think I'm going to leave this as part one. And when I come back, I started coloring in the fox. I think I'm going to use paint pens and Faber Castell markers because it's a little too tiny to use a paintbrush or to use scrapbook paper. It would be hard for me to do, so I'm just going to paint it in. And I'll come back and I'll show you what I'm doing with that. I already started with his nose and his feet and the pupils of his eyes. But I'll come back and do some more with you and glue these on. And then we'll start doing the fun part, like adding the details, figuring out the leaves, just make it look really pretty. So I'm thinking maybe like I will do the pumpkins like this, but I'm not sure yet. May have to cut some of them down. They look kind of big for this guy. So yeah, it looks kind of big. So I will think about it. I will come back and watch all the way through part 1, because when I finish up, I will add give you the link to the free fox pattern template, coloring page, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's it for now. See you in a bit.